Hey guys, Rorius here. Welcome back to Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. Yeah, we're up to the first court case, right? For this last episode. February 23rd, 9 AM, District Court, Defendant, Lobby number 2. Oh, I gotta remember all the voices now, shit. How did the investigation go yesterday, Mr. Wright? Frankly, there are still a lot of gray areas. Or rather, the whole thing is one big gray area. Don't worry about me, no matter what the outcome. I'm ready to accept my fate. I believe in you, sis. Mr. Wright, let me offer you a word of advice. Yes? A defense attorney should never believe their client. The defendant is called to trial because they are suspected of wrongdoing. Never forget that. Miss Sky, you remind me a lot of Mia, but there is one decisive difference between you and her, and that is, you're not a defense attorney. I believe it's almost time for the trial. Good luck, Mr. Wright. No, she's a prosecuting attorney. She shouldn't try and tell me how to do my job. my first trial without a fae helping me. No one's gonna bail me out this time. Yeah. Except I'll be alone in there. So I have to discover the truth all by myself. But I have Emma. Although she's kind of weirdly oblivious to the world while also being very aware of very specific scientific definitions of the world. It's weird. Let's do it, Mr. Wright. I'll be with you the whole way. Alright. Let's get in there. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. I actually love doing his voice. It feels so back home. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor. Edgeworth. It's been 2 months, but I haven't been in a courtroom since his trial. Sorry if my nose is a bit nasally. I don't know if I'm reacting to something. I have all sorts of weird reactions to different things. It's not like a seasonal, it's like autumn. It's not a seasonal hay fever thing. I just get... my sinuses are fucked. I hope that personal feelings will not be a part of the proceedings today, Mr. Wright. I will choose the path I think is right, regardless of what those around me might say. The judgment to be made here is in our hands, not those of anyone else. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. Your opening statement, please. Chief Prosecutor Lana Sky has committed an unpardonable crime. Not only this, but she was rash enough to commit it on the prosecutor's office lot. Wow, he's much more forceful in person. I suddenly feel like confessing to everything. However, she will now pay for her rashness with her life. There was a witness to her crime. A professional witness. Well then, call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. Yeah, I don't know what it is about starting the episode with court is now in session for the trial of blah 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 blah. Something so warm and comforting about it. The prosecution calls its first witness, Miss Angel Starr, to the stand. The cough-up queen. Yeah, that's right. Haven't I seen you somewhere? Wait, what was that voice again? You ordered the caviar lunch, right? Oh, caviar! I've never eaten caviar before. The judge is really wolfing it down. And for you, I have a fiesta bowl. Thanks. Will the witness state her name and profession? God damn it. And you, sir, did you order the fingerprint lunchbox? It is too early for lunch. Your name and profession, please. Oh my god. Well, Your Honor, How does it taste? So this is why everyone raves about caviar. It's so tasty it hurts. I always thought caviar would taste like pickled tapioca. What the heck does pickled tapioca taste like? Edgeworth is getting frustrated. Name, profession, now. Me? The name's Angel Starr. Don't go forgetting it. I find myself running Lunchland these days. Is that what you wanted me to say, Mr. Edgeworth? Very well, witness. Please describe the incident to us. The prosecution will wait. I'm not finished eating. Oh, I love it. Something about the judge like eating and being like, hurry up, I'm hurry up. Hurry it up. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. As you know, we usually call on the police to provide a description of the crime. Your Honor, as Mr. Edgeworth has said to the court, I am a professional. Aha! What exactly does that mean? Until 2 years ago, Miss Angel Starr was a special investigator with the police. Ah, she was a first-rate homicide detective. What? Miss Starr was a detective? Ah! Aha! I know who you are. Cough up. Cough up, Queen Angel Starr, Your Honor. Long time no see. Very well. You may continue with the description, Miss Starr. Just who is this lady? If I might have the court's attention over here. The parking lot at the prosecutor's office is divided into 2 blocks. A block is for the prosecutor's office personnel. B block is for visitors and clients. A chain divider separates the 2 blocks. I suppose that's to keep visitors from taking up prosecutor's spaces, yes? The crime took place by the car in the back of A block, in the car's trunk. The killer stabbed the victim with this knife and went to drive the body out. Unfortunately for her, there was a witness and an arrest was made on the spot. And who was this valiant witness? Her. Why, it was me, Your Honor. That seems fishy to me. That the that the witness was the lunch lady, but she's somehow also a detective, a former detective. And then the actual police officer that they put on the scene is her boyfriend. Okay. Something, there's fishiness going on all around this. Witness, did you see the very moment of the crime? Of course, Your Honor. Immediately after that, I apprehended the chief prosecutor. It seems rather cut and dry, doesn't it? Well, Mr. Wright, I can't agree on principle, Your Honor. It's like, I refuse to say that it's cut and dry. It seems that some poor losers are unwilling to accept the truth, Your Honor. Shall I proceed to crush what little hope they have remaining? If you can, then give them your worst, Miss Starr. Wait, are they talking about me? Just like, Somehow, I always knew a day like this would come. I was on my way to deliver a lunchbox to my boyfriend, when I sensed something. Perhaps it was my finely honed detective's intuition at work. Through the wire fence, I saw the chief prosecutor standing next to a garish car. The chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand. Then, she thrust the pointed tip of the knife into the Detective Goodman's chest. She's lying. I will mention, in the first episode, I analyzed the intro cutscene with my detective eye. And immediately I noticed that there's some really interesting key points that I focused in on. My analysis, the key points I feel from that cutscene were the fact that a knife was thrown. Some key point of the case is going to involve the fact that this witness is saying that she saw Lana stab the guy, but I bet he was hit with a knife that was thrown across the way. So a throwing knife was the murder weapon, not a stabbing knife. I could be wrong. That's just from what I've seen. That's immediately what came to mind. A vase breaks. Something falls and shatters. I don't know what it is. I don't know what the significance of that is. And the police... The police mascot is an important feature in something. Those are 3 details. And of course there's the scene where you see Lana holding the knife that's driven into the guy's chest, Goodman's chest. That, for me, the fact that you see the knife thrown and then you see her holding the knife in his chest implies to me that the case involves the fact that she probably discovered the body with the knife thrown into it, or she might have even been there when the knife came out of nowhere and hit the person in the chest. Hit Goodman in the chest. And she went to, like, she grabbed it only out of, like, she either wanted to remove it or wanted to check. She grabbed it for some reason, you know, for some stupid reason she grabbed it. And that put her into that scenario where it's like, well, she seems guilty. Another detail from not the intro cutscene, but from later on so far, that I thought was seemed really important is that all the details seem to surround Edgeworth. I'm convinced that people are trying to frame Edgeworth. People were trying to frame Edgeworth, but they accidentally caught Lana. Yeah, they were setting the net for Edgeworth, but they caught Lana instead, and Lana's not the intended target. She was just unfortunately in the way when the pieces fell. But all the pieces of evidence, all the, like, little details, all link back to Edgeworth. It's Edgeworth's car, it's Edgeworth's knife, it's done in the prosecutor's parking lot. The only detail that links back to Lana is that Lana called Goodman there, didn't she? Yeah. I think. Yeah, anyway. Bringing a lunchbox to your boyfriend, how touching. As you can see, there's no room for doubt. The key point of your testimony seems to be nothing other than the point of the knife which you saw being stabbed into Detective Goodman. So, how does it feel to be so utterly crushed? I am still thinking about that. It's merely a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. Very well, Mr. Wright. You may cross-examine the witness. She's got an octo dog. What's they called? I didn't know they were a thing until I saw Yandere Simulator. The sausage that you, like, slice so that it has little octopus tentacles. We don't have them here. I'd never seen them until I saw Yandere Simulator. Somehow I knew this day would come. Okay, press. What? What? How do you know? How did you know? I respect the prosecutor's basic abhorrence of crime. Abhorrence. Yet their methods are ugly and twisted. Twisted methods will always lead to tragedy. Oh my god. The lunch lady's uninformed opinion is duly noted, given that they are used to erasing inconvenient evidence at their whim. Yeah. Killing off a detective that knew too much is merely an extension of that. Miss Starr, do you have something personal against prosecutors? I've felt that I had found my dream job when I became an investigator, and if I hadn't been laid off by those prosecutors over there, I'd still be one. I'm convinced that Miss Starr is a red herring, but everything she's saying is like, she has a grudge against prosecutors. Like someone who would set up a crime to catch a prosecutor, you know? Laid off? She was fired? To me, prosecutors are nothing more than worms. That said, I'm a pro, as you know. My testimony is unbiased and flawless. Very well, you may continue, Miss Starr. It's on my way to deliver a lunchbox to my boyfriend. This boyfriend, he's the detective? Not that boyfriend, the security guard. That boyfriend? You have several? Yes. This boyfriend, that boyfriend, the other boyfriend. Care to join? Whoa. The yet another boyfriend position is still open for applicants. I'll stick with the lunches, thanks.
Note to self, the judge had to think before replying.
The security guard room is in the lot, in A block. It's up on the second level, so you can see everything from there. That would be the room with the security sign. Why did no one notice the murder then? Incidentally, did you bring your lunchboxes by car? Since I'm a visitor now, I parked in B block.
So she was in B block when she witnessed the crime.
Ah. Oh, interesting. I said something, perhaps it was my finely tuned detective's intuition at work. You sensed something, so you're saying you had a premonition of the murder?
It felt like, how would you say? Oh yes, it was like the feeling you get when you view a pumpkin chock full of... It was like the feeling you get when you view a pumpkin chock full of seeds.
I have no idea what that means. Neither do I. Speaking of a detective's intuition, wasn't the victim Mr. Bruce Goodman also a detective?
Yes, well, he was like a young cheese.
A young cheese?
A pale white cheese, not yet tangy with experience on the streets. A greenhorn.
Ah, then I must be hard, yellowed and sharp as a tack.
Yeah, with the color, with the odor of an old cheese to match. In any case, there in the lot I felt something stirring in the back of my mind.
Unfortunately, I think her voice, the southern voice with the deep sultriness, is very greatly affected by whatever sinus issues I'm having today. So I'm sorry if I sound really nasally. Through the wire, oh right, yeah, through the wire fence, I saw Chief Prosecutor standing next to a garish car. By garish car, you mean...
Mr. Edgeworth's car, yes.
Mr. Edgeworth's?
Incidentally, the knife with which the victim was stabbed was also Mr. Edgeworth's, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Indeed it was.
What an odd case this is. And the person you saw, you are sure it was the defendant?
I saw her from no further than 30 feet away. I'm certain it was her.
If she's telling the truth, we're doomed.
Let's just do what we can. Even if we don't have any proof, we can always nitpick.
Yeah. Witness, in your testimony, you clearly stated the following. Prosecutors are nothing more than worms, ergo, you are a biased witness.
You might want to keep those silly opinions to yourself in future, rookie.
Huh? Rookie?
Unless you're willing to risk the consequences of doubting me. I'll fry you like a fritter. Crispy on the outside, chewy on the inside.
That was inspiring.
I believe I've heard that tagline elsewhere. You could cry plagiarism.
Yes.
I may be relegated to the lowly post of lunch lady, but my instincts are honed.
Oh? A photograph? You took this?
The moment I witnessed the crime, my reflexes took over and snap, I took a picture. In fact, one of my lunchboxes is rigged with a camera.
The fuck? I suppose that's more exciting than just hanging it around your neck.
Witness, why am I only seeing this photograph just now? You think I'd show it to you, a prosecutor? Think again. My boyfriend works in the photography division of criminal affairs.
Well, this is most certainly a defendant. Or the defendant. Yeah, but once again, the fact she had a camera on her, that's highly suspicious. That it's rigged in her freaking lunchbox, like she's just planning, just waiting for that moment to take a photo. That's highly suspicious. Uh-oh, that's unmistakably Lana Sky.
So, what was the defendant doing at the time?
Holding a knife in her right hand. Tell me more about this knife that the suspect was carrying.
Well, I'd say the blade was about 4 inches long. Is that right, Mr. Edgeworth? Is It is your knife, after all. Yes, that's about right. Prosecutors are, by nature, well versed in the location of a man's vital organs. I'm sure it was easier than boiling an egg for my egg salad surprise set. You can't testify as to her ability to kill an egg. I mean, a person. Perhaps a chicken salad set would have been a better metaphor. So, the defendant was holding a knife. What then? Wait. I'm not actually gonna present anything. I just want to check. Oh yeah, that's it there. What does it say on the piece of evidence? I mean, it's hard to say, but like, from my perspective, this is once again, it's like, she was just there. I don't believe that Angel actually saw her stab him, sorry. Did you thrust the pointy tip of the knife into Detective Goodman's chest? Tell the court why you didn't try to stop this crime. You did see her raise the knife to strike, no? The defense has a point. Unfortunately, by the time I realized what was going on, it was already too late. Too late? Yes. The next moment, the chief prosecutor brought the knife and brought down the murder weapon. I see. It's only a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. We can make it. You said that before. Anything else? Scientifically speaking, Miss Starr's testimony is flawless. Sounds pretty fatal to me. I don't believe it's flawless. What do we do? Is this it? Is my sister guilty? Let's keep our heads cool and press the witness a bit, shall we? For some reason, having her panicking next to me makes me calmer. To me, it's making me more panicked. Don't smile like that. Well, I've repressed everything she said. Okay, wait. Let's just see what we have. No prints. She's not holding a knife in this picture, right? I'm gonna save it real quick. I don't know where to go from here, honestly. I'm kind of lost. I'm at a loss because I've pressed all the details. Oh, am I right? And you witnessed this? You saw Miss Skye stab the victim with a knife? As I already said, yes. I swear it on my finest 7-swirl lunch. I'm sure that is a fine lunch. But isn't that odd? Look at this photograph. This is the photograph you took at the very moment of the crime, is it not? Then why is Miss Skye not holding a knife? Yeah. Mr. Edgeworth, your thoughts? Objection. Objection? That had to be the weakest objection ever, Edgeworth. Yet it was still stronger than your ever-feeble mind, Mr. Wright. What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? This photograph was not taken the moment before the stabbing. This was taken the moment after the stabbing. I thought... That's what I thought, but she said she took a photo and then she saw them stabbing, so I was confused as to that. This was taken the moment after the stabbing. And how can you tell that? The blood all over the blood splatter? Huh? See that dark crimson stains on the chief prosecutor's coat? But it's a black and white photograph. Oh, yes, it's hard to tell, but this could be blood. Well, Mr. Wright, I see no problem here. No problem except you. No problem except you. Mr. Wright, are you going to just sit there and take that kind of abuse? Ugh, you got a better idea. Just objection? Objection. Wait, that contradicts what the witness said in her testimony. Namely, that she took the picture the moment she witnessed the crime. Exactly. I'm glad that my reasoning is flowing through. I'm always so uncertain of myself. Well, it seems I was slightly unclear. My apologies. She said, like, the moment she felt odd, she, like, snapped a picture. That's it? If you run out of lunch, your order seconds. Problem solved. If you don't like it, try ordering the jumbo-sized lunch from the get-go. Good advice. I'm not sure I understood it, but good advice. I didn't have time to stop her. Prosecutor Skye was cold, calculating, like a robot. She killed without pain or remorse. It was a premeditated murder.
Premeditated? How do you know?
Look at the chief prosecutor's hands in the photograph.
Well, are those gloves?
Surgical gloves made of thin rubber, most likely. Why would she have those on? If it was not premeditated, she would not be wearing those gloves.
What? These gloves do seem to tell a tale of premeditation.
Premeditated murder, a serious offense.
Witness, add this to your testimony.
The murder was planned. Rubber gloves prove it. What if she was just in the habit of wearing gloves, like driving gloves? The gloves were admitted as evidence when the defendant was arrested. They were rubber gloves of the kind used for autopsies. In other words, when the chief prosecutor came to the crime scene, she came to do murder. It's the only possible conclusion one can make.
Or she just carries those gloves sometimes. You know, as a prosecutor, I imagine you'd find yourself potentially with evidence that you'd need to not put fingerprints on.
Everything was planned. It was a premeditated crime.
I don't disagree with her on that. I disagree that it was Lana who premeditated that murder. Who planned it. Impressive. I'm sorry they took you off the force, Miss Starr.
This is bad. She's got them thinking it was all planned. If she can prove this claim, the trial's already over. I've got to think of a way to show that this wasn't premeditated. Wait. Why don't I have the gloves as evidence? I'm a little lost. I'm gonna try something, right? Let's try... Let's try presenting the knife. Because it's Edgeworth's knife, it was in his car, it would imply that it's not premeditated. Yeah, so, like... Witness, do you know what this is? Are you trying to test me? I sell lunchboxes for a living, you know. That's a knife. The knife. The knife that was in Mr. Edgeworth's trunk. Indeed, it is my knife. What's with this case? The bloody murder. Oh! Chief prosecutor. I missed that line. Prosecutors bad people. What the fuck was that? What was all that about? The defense has a request. We ask that the witness provide an accurate testimony. Was that, rookie? In your testimony, you stated that Lana Skye planned this murder, and that's why she was wearing those special gloves.
Seems like a natural conclusion to me. The gloves do indicate planning.
However, why would she not also prepare the most important thing, the murder weapon? Oh. This knife just happened to be in the trunk of that car. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're gonna plan a murder, you don't forget the weapon. She dropped her lunchbox.
Order, order, order!
Great, now the tide is turning in our favor. Great show, Mr. Wright. My sister's as good as free. No, she's not. There's a lot more to this. Right. I believe the next lunch you'll be eating is humble pie. What? I hope you weren't deluding yourself into thinking that the tide has turned. Not over such a trifling detail.
But this shoots a hole in the whole premeditated theory.
Bah. The prosecution could care less if it was premeditated or not. The only one who seems to care is that lunch lady over there. But that's a huge detail, it's really important. The defendant, Lana Skye, murdered a detective with a knife. That's the only thing the prosecution needs to prove, nothing else. Very good, Mr. Prosecutor. I suppose you think you're clever now. But you know as well as I do that she planned on killing him. It was planned. If it wasn't, why would she have been wearing...
I believe I'd like to hear your testimony again.
Witness, please tell us only what you saw, not what you thought. How dare you? My powers of deduction are not to be underestimated.
Really now? Just really now? Angel's deduction.
Lana Skye intended to murder Detective Goodman. That's why she called the victim all the way to the prosecutor's office. I'm sure the chief prosecutor had a grudge against the victim. Nothing else could drive that human machine to plunge the knife in again and again.
Again and again, you say? The victim was summoned from the police department to the prosecutor's office. It does sound like a lot like premeditation, doesn't it?
So if I ordered a pizza, does that mean I'm planning to kill the delivery boy?
Thank you. In any case, the defense may now cross-examine the witness. You go, Emma. I appreciate. I bet she was asking that genuinely, but that's such a sarcastic, beautiful point. Angel's deduction. Okay, I will just push everything again. You've said that, but you haven't told us how you know.
That's why I'm about to tell you, rookie.
I believe what she just said was a mere prelude to the story she's about to tell. Try not to interrupt her again.
Rookie. Never interrupt a storyteller. It's like pulling a bun out of the oven half-baked.
Something's half-baked here, alright, and it's you.
Try not to confuse the defense witness.
They're not very quick on their... I saved you from an unwinnable case. How dare you?
Now, why did you believe the suspect had intentions to murder the victim? Her actions speak for themselves.
Just waiting for it. You have no proof that Miss Skye called him there.
You have no proof that she didn't.
Mr. Edgeworth, thoughts?
There's no record of a call made on the defendant Miss Skye's phone. She might have written him a letter.
Come on, you could have tried public phone first, at least.
In any case, the victim came to the prosecutor's office where he was murdered.
I'm sure he had a reason to be there. Witness, why do you think that it was the suspect who summoned the victim on that day?
Had a grudge against the victim.
What kind of grudge?
Well, I wouldn't know that.
Of course you don't. That's because she didn't have a grudge.
Rookie. I have a lunchbox here. Now, what's inside?
How am I supposed to know?
See, we agree there's a lunchbox here, but we don't know what's inside. A person's life is like a lunchbox with pretzels. Don't you agree?
I know what she means, but no, not good enough. I get it. That's why my lunch was so salty. This judge isn't very good with metaphors.
The suspect had a grudge against Detective Goodman. Will you tell us your basis for thinking this? It's simple.
Nothing else could drive a human machine to plunge the knife in again and again. I'm gonna press this first. A human machine? That's a contradiction. That's silly.
Please, can't you find fault with something of substance, Mr. Wright? Note to self, Mr. Edgeworth's sighs smell like citrus fruit.
You say again and again. How many times did she stab him, exactly?
We often say chop into 1,000 pieces, but we don't actually mean 1,000 pieces. What difference does it make if the deed is done?
How come she's getting mad at me? Let's just say she stabbed him several times and leave it at that. Leave it at that? This is a murder case, people.
Mr. Wright, you should speak up if you have an objection, you know.
Miss Starr has turned out to be as short-tempered as she looked when we met her. Channeling her abilities as a detective really set her off.
The short wick burns out the fastest. It's a scientific fact.
I wonder, wouldn't it depend on the size of the candle? I mean, add more wax and even a really short wick will burn longer.
Obviously, more scientific testing is required.
Okay, no, I've got this. This autopsy report. Died one knife wound. You say she stabbed him again and again, but you couldn't have witnessed that.
Are you testing me? Then I'll test you. With my moss surprise. I'm afraid the moss is growing out under our feet as we wait, Miss Starr.
What do you mean?
I shouldn't have to explain this, but take a look.
he's pointing it out as well.
The autopsy report states that the death was due to a loss of blood from one stab wound.
Aha, you're right. Good show, Mr. Edgeworth.
Hey, I pointed it out. How dare. What a hunk. He's my hero, really.
What about my objection? No one noticed. Well, witness.
You got the crime scene set right.
Oh, thanks.
I always believed that no one could ever mistake ketchup for blood. But now I realize that such mistakes are possible. So you're saying you mistook something for blood? When she lifted her knife, I thought I saw blood at her breast. Splattered blood from her victim. That's why I thought she must have stabbed him at least twice.
Then tell us what you saw that you thought was blood. Testify. What a wormy witness. Her red muffler looked like blood to me. That's how ghastly the whole scene was.
Her red muffler? Yes, like a scarf. Like a scarf. The chief prosecutor always wears one around her neck, so she can be easily hanged at a moment's notice, I suppose. She's right.
This guy was wearing a red scarf, wasn't she?
But wait.
Isn't it odd that you mistook that for splattered blood? Well, people often mistake my beard for a bib. A judge with a bib.
Yes. Actually, I do think I saw some traces of blood on her chest. However, the autopsy report is clear on this matter. There was only one stab wound.
Apparently Miss Starr isn't entirely sure of her own testimony. Okay, wait. Check. She isn't wearing a scarf in this picture.
Like, that's the only thing I can think of, right? I'm gonna present it.
Miss Starr, I demand an explanation.
The witness is clearly not suited for detective work. What? The suspect was not.
Why does Edgeworth keep chiming in? How dare you? At least he's on my side. I shouldn't complain. Thank you, Edgeworth, for backing me up with my objections.
The suspect was not wearing a scarf or muffler of any kind when she stabbed the victim. And you have proved it yourself with this photograph. Huh? But that can't be! Only a professional lunch lady could be so utterly clueless. Congratulations, perhaps you finally found your true calling in life.
Harsh words, but good.
In the end, Mr. Edgeworth prevails.
What was my objection? Chopped liver?
But it was there. A scarf. No, not that, but something red, really. Well now, where were we? The witness has given us an entertaining interlude, but back to business. What?
Very well, witness. Continue your testimony. You saw the crime and apprehended the suspect. Tell us about that.
Very well. I do remember some things accurately, at least.
Ultimately, we couldn't shake the most important part of her testimony.
The most important part?
Wait, I was thinking that. How did she hear me?
The part where your sister stabs the victim.
This next testimony might just be the moment of truth. Oh?
Apprehending the suspect.
The music is kicked up.
This is a cool version of it. After the murder, the suspect attempted to run behind a partition of her side, off to her side. I quickly caught her, explained her rights to her, and arrested her on the spot. Ah, yes. When I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what had me confused in my earlier testimony. The chief prosecutor made to escape, but against Angel Starr, resistance is futile.
You are quite determined about this scarf, aren't you?
I strike like a snake, and I bite like a cobra. That's me, Angel Starr.
That wasn't a very good metaphor. First of all, a cobra is a kind of snake.
Don't bother me with details, unless you want to get bitten.
No thanks.
Note to self, Mr. Wright is weak against poisonous snake bites. The chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hands aside, knocked over an oil drum.
And an oil drum?
Hard to imagine. Oh, she's beautiful but deadly. A predator, this one. A leopard woman. Rawr.
Very well, Mr. Wright. Your cross-examination, if you will.
I didn't catch anything particular in that.
Okay, she attempted to run. So where is this partition on the floor plans?
I'm sure she means this wall next to the car.
That's right. There was a wall there about 6 feet high.
She was obviously trying to hide herself. Quite a natural thing for a criminal to do. And what did you do then?
I quickly caught her, explained her rights to arrested her on the spot. You say quickly. Were you close to the suspect?
As I just said, I was only 30 feet away from her the whole time.
Maybe I should press her for more details. Yeah, press her. I'd like to see this on the floor plans, just to be safe. She would have to run out of the building, round, and into the building on the other side. The Lunchland car was here.
She was a visitor, thus she was parked in B block.
So you witnessed the murder from here. That would make it about 30 feet from the car, yes. Is that correct, Miss Starr?
Yes, that's right.
But there was a chain link fence in front of you.
I went over it, of course.
Amazing! The Quaff Up Queen, lunch lady, athlete indeed. Athlete indeed.
It would have taken her a little time to climb over the fence, so she could have got to my sister that fast.
Yeah, that fence was about 9 feet high, too. So how did Miss Sky not get away? Let's just press the other things now as well. Yes, when I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. She mentioned the muffler? What exactly did she say?
If I remembered exactly, I would have told you in my testimony.
Cheeky.
Anyway, all I heard her say was the word muffler.
Just that one word?
So what you heard wasn't the suspect talking to you, but to someone else? Yes, the chief prosecutor was on her phone.
Her phone? She can't mean... Ask further. By phone, do you mean... the cell phone discovered at the crime scene?
Yes, ultimately. My memory. It's like a salmon, heading upstream, you see.
No, the court doesn't see, Miss Starr.
The chief prosecutor first attempted to use the phone hanging on the wall.
On the wall?
That's right. Near the car, there was an emergency phone on the wall. Apparently it was out of order.
And so she used her cell phone?
Indeed, the emergency phone was out of order that day.
Good witnessing, witness.
Good witnessing? Whatever happened to good testifying?
You should, of course, add this to your testimony.
The things I do to please this rookie defense attorney.
The word muffler was overheard during a call made to Emma at 5:18. And I'm pretty sure, didn't Emma say she didn't actually talk to her? I'm just gonna keep pressing this. Love how she tried the phone on the wall. Do you think you could restate your testimony for the court? Aha! I was going to ask the same thing!
I've only seen this one time, so listen close, rookies.
How did she see her trying it?
The chief prosecutor stabbed the victim and ran behind this partition. Then she picked up the emergency phone on the wall, but it was out of order. So she pulled her cell phone out of her pocket.
And during that time, you climbed over the chain link fence?
Then, when I boldly grabbed her arm, the chief prosecutor hung up her phone.
And you saw her doing this?
What is it, Mr. Wright?
Okay, let's just press this as well. She made to escape. Can you be more specific?
She pressed aside my hand and ran. It was a terrible sight to see, like a dollop of lard on a pâté foie gras.
Huh?
She even kicked over an oil drum at me.
An oil drum? There was an oil drum lying on the side of the scene of the crime.
But it's strange.
What's that?
If she wanted to escape, why didn't she run the other way?
Yeah. The parking lot entrance.
That's right. It doesn't make any sense that she would run from behind the partition of the oil drums. Excellent. More mysteries.
I wish we could solve a few before finding more, though. So this guy tried to run. Okay, there's a lot here. I saw it all. I'm straight away gonna present this first. The layout. Just gonna check it. How would she have seen it? Present. Miss Starr, I have to conclude that you have a personal grudge against Miss Lana Skye.
The witness is a former detective. Her testimony is unmarred by personal bias. Well, who would have thought you would be my knight in shining armor, prosecutor? You who, together with the chief prosecutor, kicked me out 2 years ago.
Oh, so this just leads more credence to my theory that she was after Edgeworth, not Lana. Well, Miss Starr, this is a fatal contradiction with your testimony. How do you explain this?
I don't know what you're talking about. Mess with me and I'll make you cough it up.
Cough it all up. Let's look at the floor plans. You said you witnessed the crime from this point. However, if that's true, you couldn't possibly have seen Miss Skye making that phone call. I believe you see what I'm getting at. That emergency phone was on the back side of this partition. If indeed you were in B block, you couldn't have seen it. Order! What is the meaning of this? It's simple, Your Honor. She's not coughing up lunch, she's coughing up lies.
Oh, brilliant. That's quite a claim, Mr. Wright. Perhaps you will allow me a question. Tell us exactly what lie this witness has told the court.
Here's where the counterattack begins. I can't afford to get this wrong.
Okay, save it. I love it when this music kicks in.
The witness lied about,
where she saw it. Oh, I'm so unsure. I think it's one of these two, though.